everyone, and welcome. My name is Ryan Flanagan with MyRepMgr, and today I'm proud to share with you the second part of our two-session series in regards to the comprehensive sales strategy for best practices as a reseller of MyRepMgr. We are going to go ahead and dive right in, and we'll tackle question and answer opportunities at the end of the webinar. So let's talk about product strategy. MyRepMgr has several options to provide your prospective client, but which one should you offer first? The answer is the one that solves the pain first. What you want to keep in mind as the consultant is you are the subject matter expert, and you don't want to just provide them with a quick fix, because typically when that happens, they're not going to get the full value, and over time, whether it's 2 weeks later, 2 months later, whatnot, they may not stay with you as a long-term client. And really, what you're looking for is a long-term client. So what we need to understand is that sometimes it takes multiple solutions to resolve it, and sometimes based on their needs, we might not be able to scale it 100% on ourselves. So what we need to understand is sometimes you have to look at solutions that we may not be able to necessarily specialize in. But I want to share with you that we have resources and partnerships within MyRepMgr that are very important to the overall success of your clients and ultimately your success as a reseller. Why MyRepMgr and World Internet Marketing? Let me tell you guys, MyRepMgr really does provide a comprehensive reputation intelligence management system, but on its own, it really doesn't guarantee more 5-star reviews. What it really does is it provides a detailed informational platform for a business to begin the fundamental change in the way that they approach and understand their reputation online. So we all know the expression, you can't manage what you don't measure. MyRepMgr is really ultimately, guys, the foundation of what a business owner needs to begin. It's a process. So that is really initially the first part of the overall way in which a business will ultimately change their reputation for the better online. And really what it is that it's the knowledge that the business owner collects through the solutions on MyRepMgr from active reputation intelligence reporting that gets them to at least understand where their deficiencies lie and where they can take the steps needed. And so, what we do is when we do a snapshot report, we may have business owners that don't even know what their pain point is, right? So we have to walk them through the process, and by showing them that snapshot report, we can begin to have a conversation. So that's really what we talked about in our last strategy session was, the sales presentation and the positioning of that. But now we want to take it a step further, and it's not really just about the intelligence aspect. They're going to also look to you as the expert that's actually going to help them correct and improve their reputation. So that is the other half that provides the comprehensive solution, not just the management and the monitoring, but also the marketing of it. Okay. What we need to all strive to be is the consultant for that business. We need to walk them through the entire process. Really, guys, in order to get more clients faster, a business should always strive to maximize their visibility and the accuracy of those listings for their location first. So typically, if I'm working with a business owner and they don't even know their pain point, I'm going to do a snapshot report first, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to see that they have discrepancies with the accuracy of their listings or just the sheer number of listings that they may not even be listed in. So what I want them to understand is that as a reputation management professional, I have to help them walk through that balance of understanding why they need to be visible and have accurate listings first, because that's where most traffic is going online automatically. And honestly too, if they're paying for SEO but they haven't had a detailed repair and analysis of their listings on major directory sites online, then they really aren't getting what they paid for and they're missing the boat. So that is really a critical step and an initial step that I take with most every business. We always want to focus on the pain point first, but this is a great opportunity to suggest and add value and potentially other things that they may be working with or other, marketing contractors that, are potentially doing them wrong. So you come in as the hero. Once a plan is in place to maximize accuracy and visibility of directory listings online, the next key step is to share with the business owner in describing and helping them gain the insight they need of how their business is seen online by consumers in their community. Okay, so what I mean by that is that the Active Reputation Intelligence Management System through MyRepMgr will quickly report online reviews, mentions by third-party companies or sources, social presence stats, keyword trends, and local competition. Really what we're doing now is we've shared with them the critical importance of helping them understand that they need to be visible and have accurate listings. Now we're going to provide the Active Reputation Intelligence System, which is going to give them really a return on investment overhead of exactly what they need in order to continue to manage their listings and see the increase in those accuracy of those listings. It's also going to be able to collectivize and aggregate all of this information that can be found from multiple sources, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of knowledge and a lot of effort that a lot of business owners simply don't have. So kind of think of it, guys, as like a jigsaw puzzle. And you can't really get the pieces in the middle very easily without getting the corner sections, right? So we build a foundation by layering it, more or less, where we help them really understand the value of their listings as the easiest, most effective initial fix, if you will. And then we build upon that, right? So that's going to this next step of implementing then the Active Reputation Intelligence Management System to monitor not just those initial listings and the increase of those, but all of those other features as well. Competition, employee posts, mentions, tweets, trending topics, that kind of thing. So now your business prospect is going to look at you and they're going to say, Ryan, that's great, but how do I increase my 5-star reviews? Okay, so really what they want now is they have the ability to monitor and manage both online visibility and reputation through the tools that you've already now provided them through MyRepMgr. But like I said, that's only half of the solution. So what they are going to want you to do now is to actively improve their online reviews. We're already working on their listings through the annual listing distribution service, that listing repair and creation service. That's a done for them solution, and it's effectively done for you as well. But this part of it, in increasing their reputation and filtering good reviews from bad reviews, this is going to be something that's going to require a lot more work, okay? And you have several options. But really what it comes down to is it scalable? Are they a smaller size business and the opportunity is a lucrative one for you to be their agent and manager for it? Because what we need to consider is that a lot of business owners, if you just hand this off to them and say good luck, they're not going to stick around. they're not going to have the time or the patience or the know-how to even begin really to take this dashboard, this aggregated information, and actually do something with it, because hey, they're not born marketers. A lot of them are. I mean, some of them are, sure, but we need to be the experts, and we're going to need to be the ones that either manage it for them, or what we would need to do is outsource the work. But what it comes down to fundamentally is they know that they want the whole value. And so in order to provide them with a unique solution that fits their picture, that is what it's going to take to be a reputation consultant that actually goes above and beyond a lot of marketing, scams, and a lot of marketing, self-proclaimed gurus out there. Let's show you how to go about doing that and how to decipher when it would be a good opportunity to either potentially do the work yourself or outsource it. So have no fear. As a MyRepMgr reseller, you have options. As always, though, we need to understand the client's needs and particular position. If we're looking at light work, we're going to be looking at a smaller scale. So this might be something like slight increase to the number of online reviews needed. We actually have a solution for you that is a great way for a business to provide a tactile reminder to their clients that they appreciate feedback, that they appreciate their business, and that they want them to engage online. And we call these Review Me cards. They are actually located in the MyRepMgr store, and we have the ability to create them for you as a customized template that we can send to your Vistaprint account, and at that point you can print as many as you need for that client. But this is a great way that you can add value by helping them not just monitor and manage their online reputation, but really take that next step into marketing it and creating more responses in their social media pages from clients and getting more 5-star reviews. Let me zoom in for you. And this is an example that I did for a local auto insurance agent, a friend of mine, and a great guy. And he was looking for a way to share his information and get his clients to engage with him at his location. So what I was able to do was take his logo and put his information, and as you can see, it's very engaging. This is the other side of it. Lets them know that he cares about their experience and where he's asking to get reviews, and the ability to ask for that feedback. And it's like I said, it's something tactile that you can give that client and their customers something right there at the point of sale. Another great way, that this is a very affordable way, but to filter reviews, I've worked with clients, and I've set this up for clients where we've provided a sign more or less in the waiting room where we would have them rate their customer service. And similar to Happy or Not, this is not as analytical as Happy or Not, but it's still effective in filtering reviews. And what we've done is set up QR codes that go to different places based on the experience, because a lot of us know that a lot of clients and consumers, more or less, are going to vote with their feet. And if there's not a way to capture their experience at the point when it actually happened, then you may never hear from them again. So this is a great catch-all to at least let them know you care as a business owner. And if you want to generate more online reviews, we actually put in QR codes. So a QR code here for a Happy experience would lead to one of their online review page sites. And if they weren't happy, we left a phone number for them, and we also had another QR code that goes to an email address that filters negative experiences and allows that business owner to immediately see that concern and address it and provide incentives or whatnot for them to try them again at a second point in the future. The other situation that you may be looking at with a prospect is that it's going to require much more heavy work, or it's going to be large scale. This is situations such as multiple business locations, or if they have multiple social media pages or heavy posting needs. It could be heavy increased online reviews. A lot of businesses understand the power of content and blogging and how that increases SEO. So that's a very time sensitive, time consuming thing that it may not be wise per se to take that on as their agent. Also, once again, SEO, SEM, and web design. In those situations, we want to still communicate value, but it may not be something where we can actually do ourselves. That is why we've partnered up, and through MyRepMgr, you actually have a partner with World Internet Marketing. Okay, Nick Pappas is a great guy. As soon as I have any questions, he is on it like white on rice. The guy is fantastic, and his company is very reputable. Been in business since 1986, 1985, 1986. Jeff has known him for many years. We do a lot of our outsourcing work through him. All you need to do is to see a list of everything that they do. Just go to www.worldinet.com/products-services. And this is the information that you can reach out. You can email or you can call them directly for any questions in regards to large-scale needs that we talked about just a second ago. Let's move now into pricing strategy. We're going to talk about some key points around, does the price point that we've suggested make sense for our customer, and does it make sense for us as a reseller? We also want to talk about effective pricing and large volume deals, as well as incentives for extended contracts. And we also need to understand who our competitors are as well. Because if you don't have a pulse on the competition, your pricing strategy may not be in line with other market trends, and that is going to cost you business. Okay? So let's get right into this. We need to first understand, does the price that we put forth make sense for our customers? Remember that value equals quality over price. So in this instance, I want you guys to think of quality being defined as the knowledge and tools to fix the pain. That's the management and the monitoring aspect of what you can provide as a MyRepMgr reseller. And you've got to add the action to fix the pain. So the marketing of it, the active facilitation of getting their current position to be changed and ultimately improved by you doing business. So that is quality defined in this instance. And what we need to understand is that in each step of the sales process, you need to communicate your value, which is what's in it for them, why they need to choose you, and why that particular solution. We talked about the sales process of walking with your customer, interviewing your customer, asking them questions, finding their pain. And then on the second meeting, when we talked about letting them ask more questions, showing them that you're the subject matter expert, sharing the snapshot report with them or a competitive analysis. Each time we're meeting with them or having that contact, we're always showing them and explaining to them, this is what's in it for you, and this is why you need to choose me as your reputation specialist and local expert, and why this solution versus other solutions. We need to share potentially the details of our services with family, friends, or business contacts and other people in our network and ask them, listen, this is what we have. What do you see? What's the value you see? And what would you be willing to pay for it? And get some ideas. It'd be good just to get a really good understanding of kind of where they're at with it and what they'd be willing to pay for it. That could really help define what your pricing strategy is. We also need to ask, does it make sense for us as MyRepMgr resellers? Is the pricing that we've provided, is that going to be worth our time investment, right? If we price it too high, we'll decrease the value. If we price it too low, then what will happen is we decrease the value and actually lose time, money, and interest on our own right. There's a sweet spot, like a Goldilocks zone, if you will, where you're going to get the best response from your price in the solutions that you put forward. So what we need to do is a couple of steps. In the first step, we want to research the market. We need to understand our audience specifically. Do they have a marketing budget? How many locations do they have? How big is their pain? That kind of thing. And then the second step is we need to research competitors of our services. We need to learn more about RepKahuna. We need to learn more about Yext. We need to learn more about WhiteSpark. The reason for this is that by understanding their limitations and their pricing strategy and what they provide and what they don't provide, for example, questions that you want to look for, are they a done-for-me service? Do they provide services where the business owner has to be in charge of it? Because that could be an upsell for us with several solutions that we provide. Are their solutions with Yext difficult or complicated to understand? That is a key element that if we can provide an easy, more streamlined tool, that is our differentiator. And that's what we're looking for, guys. We want to find their key differentiator and then compare it with ours. And then what we need to do in our third step is ask ourselves, what is it worth to me? For example, if you're starting out and you don't have really a large book of business yet, I would suggest potentially setting your prices lower than perhaps what you really want, but maintain enough of a buffer so that it's still worthwhile for you to continue prospecting and selling the solutions within MyRepMgr. What you're looking for, and the reason for doing that, is because by trading more money from the deal that you would have gotten, you potentially may get more opportunities to bat. So you get more opportunities to provide a proposal, or you get more opportunities to close that book of business. And by doing that, then you can adjust once you've got several clients already under your wing. This is a great way to help you get clients faster and potentially generate testimonials and referrals. And once again, then readjust your pricing to the desired figure once you've done your research after you started rolling. Before we move into this slide, let me show you a little bit of the research that I've done. So, for example, I just went to Google and I typed in Yext pricing. You could type in anything. You could type in Yext pricing. You could type in best reputation management tools. And honestly, I would just spend some time going through these. Like, here's one: top 10 reputation tracking tools worth paying for. And just open that up and read it and take notes if you need to. But the more knowledge you have about the competitors, the other services that are out there, because I guarantee you, if you have heard of them, or maybe you haven't heard of them, there are business owners that have tried these. They're going to look to you to get your opinion on what these services have and compare them really to what we have under MyRepMgr, right? So here what we can do is you can look at and research BuzzLogic or Radian6 or Nielsen. BrandsEye is a powerful reputation management system for bloggers and content managers that helps improve reputation over time. Basically, where it allows the ability to tag mentions of your brand and rank them. So, and it gives you some price points here. What I would do is almost take another sheet of paper and write down all the ones that you can find and what their prices are and what their main differentiators are. What services do they provide? And then compare that with MyRepMgr, and you can start getting a matrix and a full blast of an understanding. I would actually provide that as a resource that you can show your prospects and saying, is this a done-for-me service, or is this a do-it-yourself service? Is this affordable, or is it very expensive per location? How easy is it to navigate? I also did some research too on the individual services themselves. within each competitor. So what does Yext provide? And really become a subject matter expert on your competitors, if you will. So what we're going to talk now about is long-term incentives and volume-based pricing. Some key tips to remember as a MyRepMgr reseller: it is always more helpful and more appealing to your business prospect if they have a lot of locations to provide pricing breaks or discounts for longer term contracts. So give them a 1, 2, and maybe even a 3-year contract. And I'm going to show you an example of how I've put mine together in just a moment. But I've also done volume-based pricing as well, because the more volume of locations they have, the number of locations, I mean, that's going to be that much more money, right, that you're going to be getting month over month. And so ultimately, we want to encourage them to have longer term contracts and feel comfortable in allowing us to take on all of those locations. That's going to be a strategy that I think every reseller who's successful is going to be able to implement, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I want you guys to remember, with larger deals, like if you're looking at a prospect over 100 locations, Jeff and I will contact Vendasta on your behalf to see if we can lower your wholesale rate for a better margin for that particular deal. We can't guarantee the moon and the stars, but even if it's 5% or maybe even a little bit more, that is going to factor in considerably for a much larger profit on your end as a reseller. So just keep that in mind. And if you have any questions or you're courting a large prospect like that, just send us a support ticket and let us know the details, and we can then move forward with Vendasta on positioning that and seeing if we can get that done for you. I'm going to show you now what my pricing strategy looks like for MyRepMgr. This is a matrix of the prices that I've put together for retail clients. And what I have done is, this is actually what I'll provide when I'm having that conversation. And I let them know right up front what they are to expect with our pricing strategy, dependent on the number of locations that we're going to be taking and providing MyRepMgr active reputation intelligence solutions for. There is a one-time setup fee, and that covers the first month's service, which effectively I put together a pilot program, and that would be considered the first month. What it includes is a setup of the reputation account and library for each location, their alert settings for those locations, email reporting frequency and distribution. Also, I would provide video training materials for key personnel within the organization, and I can show you or provide that to you as well to help them navigate the system. We also allow them to, of course, have user-assigned access to the Reputation Management Business Center dashboard portal, and the charge for the one-time setup is non-refundable because that puts together their account and the first month's service, but they do have the right to cancel. However, that charge would be non-refundable within the 30 days, and then after that it goes to a monthly service rate. So if they have 1 to 4 locations, they'd have a one-time setup fee of $199. If they do a 1-year contract, it's $99 per location. If it's a 2-year contract, I charge them $95 per month per location, and if they do a 3-year contract, I charge $91 per location per month. So let's say they have 4 locations, but they're not doing brand analytics, which I think would be silly, but if they're just doing that, then they would be at 91 times 4. If they add brand analytics, then what I do is I'll end up charging $30 each per location, but of course letting them know that it requires 2 or more locations for us to add that service. As you can see, the more locations they are participating in, the lower their one-time setup fee is for each location, and then the monthly service rates as follows. The monthly service investment includes data hosting, continuity of service with active reputation alerts, weekly email reporting, which is good for up to 6 separate emails per location, and the report library that houses each of those reports. It also includes first tier support and quality guarantee. And once again, the term begins after the pilot program ends. Early termination would apply, and how I charge it is the early termination would equal the rate that they're given times the number of months remaining in the term upon cancellation. So that is really how I go about pricing it. So it really just depends on your market and the needs of your client. I mean, some of these, certainly if I had an interesting client and they wanted to maneuver a little bit on some of these prices, I'd be willing to negotiate to some degree, but they're going to stick pretty close to these prices. So that's really the strategy I put together with retail pricing for Active Rep Intel. Once again, everyone, it's extremely important that you know and learn and become a specialist on understanding where competitors are in relation to your work as a MyRepMgr reseller. Some key points are we need to know who they are. These are some examples. You need to know what they do, the services they provide, how they do it, what's their process, what do they charge. And another one is a great question to ask is which listings do they cover? Some provide a repair listing distribution service as well, but many of them do not cover nearly the number of directory, online, and review sites, listing sites that we do as MyRepMgr reseller. We need to really understand the pros and cons of each of those competitors, and we did a Google search for best reputation tools and pricing, and dive into those websites because that's where the wealth of knowledge is going to be at. The more you know about your competitors, the more you can counter objections and promote your services through MyRepMgr and be confident in doing it. So everyone, that is the end of part 2 of our comprehensive sales strategy with MyRepMgr. At this time, I encourage all of you to ask any questions that you have, and I'll do my best to answer them. If there are any questions that I do not have the answer to, I will get the research done and get that answer back over to you. And I will, once again, have these recorded and provided on the training section of the MyRepMgr site under members, then training. With that, let's go ahead now and get into some of those questions. Well, if we have no other questions, I want to say thank you so much again for joining us on this webinar today. And we are very thankful that you are getting out there and getting it done. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to once again go to MyRepMgr and go to the black support box here and let me know any questions that you have that may come to you after this presentation, and I will do my absolute best to get back to you on those as quickly as possible. Once again, thank you and have a great day.